My name is Chloe, and at 35, I take pride in my meticulous nature.
As an auditor for a large company,
My keen attention to detail serves me well both professionally and personally. My friends tease me about my enthusiasm for organization, especially when it comes to financial matters like saving receipts and making timely tax payments. But for me, these habits are essential for maintaining order in my life. Now, let me tell you how I met my husband, Theodore. We first crossed paths at a gathering hosted by our mutual friend, Victoria. That evening, while enjoying wine and catching up with college friends, Theodore arrived. He was slightly older, exuding confidence and charm with a charismatic smile. He worked as a manager at a food sales company. "Hey, I'm Theodore. Do you mind if I join you?" he asked, beer in hand, his eyes locking onto mine. "Sure, I'm Chloe. Nice to meet you," I responded with a smile. We hit it off instantly, bonding over our shared love for hiking and classic rock. A few months into our relationship, Theodore invited me to a barbecue at his sister Audrey's house. It was my first time meeting his family, and while Audrey was warm and welcoming, her children were a whirlwind of energy, running, shouting, and tossing toys everywhere. I struggled with the chaos, but Theodore found it amusing, completely unfazed by their antics. As our relationship deepened, Theodore proposed during a picturesque hike. It was a simple yet perfect moment, just the two of us atop a hill, overlooking a breathtaking valley. Our wedding soon followed, a beautiful but challenging event, particularly due to Audrey's children, who were as unruly as ever. Theodore laughed at their antics, while I quietly wrestled with my frustration. After we married, we decided to buy a home, eager to start our new chapter together. One evening, we sat down to discuss our finances. "Chloe, we need to figure out how to divide the expenses," Theodore said, reclining on our couch. "I've been thinking about that too," I replied. "I can take care of furniture, appliances, and a few decorative pieces. What about you?" Theodore, always full of surprises, had a different kind of proposal. "How about I buy you a new car? I know your old one has been a hassle." Delighted, I accepted. My aging car had become a source of stress, and the idea of a reliable replacement was a welcome relief. House hunting was an adventure, and after weeks of searching, we fell in love with a charming, though slightly expensive, house. Despite the chaos of moving, I poured my energy into making it a stylish and comfortable home. Shortly after settling in, Theodore surprised me with a sleek, new sedan. "Theo, this is incredible, thank you so much," I exclaimed, overwhelmed with gratitude as I hugged him. Life in our new home was wonderful at first. We thrived in our jobs and enjoyed the cozy environment we had created. However, Theodore's laid-back attitude, once endearing, began to wear on me, especially when it came to household responsibilities. One evening, exhausted from work, I asked him to help with the dishes. "Ah, Chloe, I had a rough day, can't it wait until tomorrow?" he groaned. Frustrated but unwilling to argue, I insisted, and he reluctantly helped. These small annoyances began to accumulate, adding to my growing concerns about our dynamic. Months passed, and my anxiety over not getting pregnant grew. Despite doctors urging patience, the uncertainty weighed heavily on me. To make matters worse, Audrey, who lived in a neighboring state, visited frequently, bringing her usual chaos. She often unloaded her marital frustrations onto me. "Chloe, you won't believe what David did this time," she'd begin, her exasperation palpable. I tried to redirect the conversation, but she was relentless. Her children, as disruptive as ever, turned our home into a circus. After a long workweek, all I wanted was peace, but their visits made that impossible. "Guys, please calm down," I pleaded, attempting to restore order. "Why are you always so uptight, Chloe?" Audrey snapped, adding to my frustration. One day, after yet another chaotic visit, I voiced my concerns. Audrey's response was a sharp dagger to my heart. "Well, maybe if you had your own kids, you'd understand." Her words stung, not just because they were cruel, but because she knew of my struggles with fertility. I looked to Theodore for support, but he stood silent. "Theodore, are you going to let her speak to me like this?" I asked, my voice trembling with anger and hurt. To my disbelief, he dismissed my concerns. "Chloe, calm down, you're making a big deal out of nothing." "It's not nothing, she insulted me in our home," I exclaimed, tears welling in my eyes. I was at my breaking point, tired of being disrespected, of feeling unheard. Something had to change. On a Saturday, Audrey showed up unannounced with her children, declaring she needed a break and was going shopping. "Fine, Audrey, but make it quick," I said, barely concealing my irritation. She rushed out, leaving me alone with the kids. As I tried to prepare dinner, their screaming made concentration impossible. Then came a loud crash from the living room. My heart dropped. I rushed in to find my grandfather's antique Chinese vase shattered on the floor. The children stood frozen, guilt written across their faces. "What the hell happened here?" I demanded, my voice shaking. "We were just playing," one mumbled.
Just then,
Theodore walked in, oblivious to the situation. "What's going on?" I pointed to the broken vase. "Your nephews just destroyed my grandfather's vase. Look at this mess." His response only made things worse. "Chloe, relax, it's just a vase, we can replace it." I felt my frustration boil over. "It's not about the vase, Theodore, it's about respect. Every time Audrey comes over, our home turns into a disaster, and you don't care. You're overreacting," he said, dismissing my anger. "Overreacting? I've had enough. I'm tired of being treated like I don't matter in my own home." Tears spilled over as I shouted, while Theodore stood there, silent and indifferent. Audrey smirked, as if she had won. I knew, in that moment, that something had to change.
I clenched my fists.
Frustration bubbling beneath my skin. "Stop being so selfish, Chloe, it's family, they need us," Theodore shot back, his tone laced with irritation. "I'm not being selfish, Theodore, I'm just asking for a reasonable solution. I won't let my life be turned upside down," I snapped, my anger flaring. "Well, they're arriving tomorrow evening, so you'd better get used to it," he declared before storming out of the kitchen, leaving me reeling in disbelief. Betrayal sat heavy on my chest. The next morning, still simmering from our argument, I got dressed for work and reached for my car keys, but they were gone. Panic surged as I searched frantically, finally calling Theodore. His voice was unervingly calm. "I took the car. It's mine, remember? I'm giving it to Audrey so she can use it for the kids." My stomach dropped. "You're giving my car to Audrey? Are you serious right now?" "It's not your car, Chloe. I paid for it, and she needs it more than you do," he replied matter-of-factly. That was the last straw. "Theodore, you've taken everything from me. I'm done," I said, my voice trembling with rage. "What are you talking about? Don't be dramatic, Chloe," he dismissed, oblivious to the depth of my emotions. A nightmare, that's what my life had become. Standing in the hallway, clutching my phone, I made a decision. "Hi, I need a moving team today. It's urgent," I told the moving company. Hours later, I directed the movers through the house. "Take everything, beds, sofas, chandeliers, even the faucets." With each item removed, a strange sense of relief replaced my anger. I was taking back control. By evening, I was at my mother's house, my old home now a hollow shell of what it once was. Then the calls started, Theodore, over and over. I ignored him, embracing the quiet after the storm. That night, a furious knock pounded on my mom's door. I opened it to find Theodore seething. "What the hell, Chloe, what did you do?" he barked, shoving his way inside. "I took my belongings, Theodore. You took the car, so I took what I bought. You stripped the house bare. Where are Audrey and the kids supposed to sleep?" I folded my arms. "That's your problem, not mine." "You're a thief," he accused, gesturing wildly. I pulled out a folder, flipping through receipts. "I didn't steal anything. Here's proof I paid for it all." His face twisted in frustration as he scanned the pages. "Fine, Chloe, if this is how you want to play it, I'll file for divorce." I took a deep breath, pulling out a second set of papers. "Already done. Sign them, and we're through." His bravado faltered. "You're really serious about this?" "Dead serious."
I deserve better.
Without another word, he signed the papers and stormed out. The door slammed, echoing through the house. Relief and sadness intertwined, but deep down, I knew it was the right decision. Over the following days, I began rebuilding, sitting in my mom's kitchen, scrolling through apartment listings. A spark of excitement ignited within me. "Mom, I think I found the perfect place, downtown, close to work." She leaned over, smiling. "That looks nice."
Have you called the realtor?
"Not yet, but I'm about to." I dialed the number, nerves twisting in my stomach. After a few rings,
A warm voice answered.
"Hello, this is Ethan. How can I assist you today?" "Hi, Ethan. My name is Chloe. I saw your listing for the downtown apartment. Is it still available?" "Yes. Would you like to come see it?" he asked, his tone hopeful. "That would be perfect. How about tomorrow afternoon?"
Sounds great.
"See you at 4 p.m. The next day, I met Ethan outside the building. "Hi, Chloe. Great to meet you."
Let's take a tour.
The apartment was charming, compact but inviting, with a cozy kitchen and a balcony overlooking the city. "I'll take it," I said, feeling lighter than I had in months. After signing the lease, I began planning my move. My mom and friends helped, and by evening, we sat among boxes, eating pizza and celebrating. To Chloe and her new adventure, my friend Victoria toasted. Later, I stood on my balcony, city lights twinkling before me. I had heard through friends that Theodore was struggling, living in a small apartment with Audrey and her kids, working 3 jobs to make ends meet. Then, unexpectedly, he called. Seeing his name flash on my screen, I hesitated but answered. "Chloe, please, just hear me out," he pleaded. I listened, realizing how much I had changed. "No, Theodore, I've found peace, and I won't sacrifice it." Hanging up, a deep sense of closure settled over me. I had turned the page, ready to step into a future filled with confidence and happiness. I had reclaimed my life, and there was no turning back.